I'm speaking with Calvin Cottar, owner of Cottars Safari Services and Cottars Camps. Hi Calvin.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for speaking with us. And just speaking generally about safari industry, the tourism industry here in Kenya, what do you see the trends at the moment? In particular to the safari industry as a whole and to the luxury high-end in particular?
First of all, I see safari will always be a unique attraction in the world of vacation, because it's something that all generations can do and have equal enjoyment out of. So it's really good for families. I see that there's a differentiation in pricing and quality. So you're getting this very strong, you're getting very, very high end and very expensive, and of course the volume and the lower end, which equally has to be there. The trick is to identify what your budget is and what you really want to experience, and generally you pay for what you get. Better places just cost more, but then you will have a better and better experience that will last for the rest of your life, and you'll come back. Once you've been to Africa on a good safari, you'll come back.
Do you see the luxury camps becoming more and more luxurious and more exclusive?
I think the boutique hotel thing which has been happening the last 10-15 years, I would say it's reached the limit. They will be there, but luxury travel really is about finding an experience and a story, and especially a story that they can be part of, which is why if you get a combination of luxury, wildlife, and real living memory, living story, then you've got the magic ingredients for an exceptional safari, an exceptional place. We feel we have that. So I think that to answer you, the more money you put into a lodge doesn't necessarily mean you get more occupancy or better experience. I think people know the truth. They know the difference between, a Disney World experience and a real experience. It's good, it'll be there.
Your family has been involved in the safari industry, and in fact we're pioneers of the safari industry in Kenya since the 1920s. Now obviously your family's seen a lot of changes. If you had your magic crystal ball, how do you see conservation, tourism, the safari industry in particular going forward? Or let's say if you projected to 20 to 30 years from now, what do you think would be, taking into account the massive pressures on that and the huge population explosion?
Oh, I see that the demand will always be there. There's an abstract value that we are putting on wildlife, which is this, whatever you like to call it, tourism, safaris. It's not a local African value. They wouldn't pay $500 to stay in a camp. They would pay $500 to put their children in school. But so I'm explaining that really there will always be this market, and we have got to get that abstract value to the ground, to the poor people who own the land where the wildlife is existing. So every mechanism that we can find that can do this successfully, we should be promoting and doing. And this is the conservancy model we're having in Kenya at the moment, which is wildlife learned is paid for per hectare per year. Tourism is paying for it currently. We have to find new ways to pay for wildlife in areas where there's no tourism. That's the big problem, is how to justify wildlife in areas away from where tourism is possible. But where tourism is possible, I think it's all changing this way. It's changing towards tourism camps, paying for bigger areas, bigger conservancy areas, private land, and doing proper partnerships with landowners. Yes, it's the way of the future. It'll get stronger.
So you would say, with your crystal ball in 20 to 30 years' time, that the safari industry, the conservation use of land for game will still be present?
Absolutely, but we have to change policies, we have to change the mindset of the industry. We've got to, every tourism dollar in Kenya, 5% gets to the land owner or wildlife producer. We need to bring that up to a lot more, 15 to 25%. Then we'll have a successful industry and a successful conservation. Wildlife has to pay at least as much to the landowner as any alternative, like maize, monoculture cattle. We have to justify our need for wildlife. Then it'll become their need for wildlife once it's paying enough. So we've got to look at carefully how we do this, and we're part of that movement now.
Calvin, thank you very much for speaking with Uyaphi.com.